I got a grade 9 in GCSE French, and I think the French writing exam is easily one of the most stressful out of the four that you have. Yet, I learned a lot of things to prepare for this exam, and I'm going to share to you what I had learned to do so well in GCSE French writing. So, first thing you need is a strong vocabulary foundation. You need to have a strong understanding of all the vocabulary you could possibly use in GCSE French. So, most words in English, you're going to want to know how they are in French, and also how to manipulate phrases like, for example, imperfect tense, past tense, the superlative speaking, things like this, all the other complex ways you can say the same thing, for example, saying it in past tense, and all the different ways you can say that, or something is most or least, and all the other methods there are to make your writing interesting. You should use this, and having this strong foundation of vocabulary and also how to make those phrases and complex language structure and accuracy, that is what will help you the most. First thing, know your vocab. Secondly, be accurate in how you use your words, how you form your phrases, because the worst thing we can do in GCSE French writing is to lose accuracy marks. These are the most basic marks which I think everyone should pick up. So first level of GCSE French writing is kind of the accuracy marks, just knowing how to write things properly. Now above that is writing interestingly. Writing in a convincing and interesting way is something in the mark scheme, something which they want you to do. Now, how do you do this? I have a simple framework for writing in an interesting way, and you can apply this throughout your French writing exam. And it is to first say what you're going to say. So, for example, you did something. So, I flew to India with my family. Second thing, opinion. What do you think of it? Opinion. The flight was mediocre because of the turbulence or something like that. And third thing, why? Because normally flights are better. This is not a good example, but you can tell from the words that I used, mediocre, turbulence. Normally, these are things you want to have translated in French, get that in your French writing exam, and these are complex words which most people will not be using. Most people will not be using these words in their French writing exam, and that is uncommon language, that is creative language, that is what the examiners are looking for in the exam. So, first, what you're going to say, second, opinion, third, why. This is a basic framework I used quite a bit for my GCSE French writing, and that helped me make my text more interesting, my essays more interesting. Now, obviously, you don't want to spam this across because that will actually reduce variety of how your essay flows. So, ideally, you want it once a paragraph, and you want, if you're doing Edexcel, I think it should be the same thing for AQA, but for Edexcel, for GCSE French writing, you have bullet points. Each bullet point should be one paragraph in your GCSE French writing. This is a simple rule I used, and it helped me because I was able to structure my work and structure my answer to the thing they're asking for. So each bullet point is going to be each paragraph, and each paragraph should have quite a few like super amazing complex language structure things, complex vocab, all these things to make each paragraph like kind of pop out to the examiner, like say, oh wow, the examiner's going to be like, wow, this is amazing, this person's using this and this, which very few people will use. This is how you aim for the higher marks. So you want to have this complexity of structure in your GCSE French writing essay. And how you can do this, you can go and look for try and look for more complex phrases. The more complex the better, because it gets you more marks. So I had a friend in year 11, basically, in GCSEs, and every single French writing exam he would always outperform me, and I was trying my best. I didn't know why I was doing bad, and what he shared with me was his method of doing things, and it was to keep on adding the complex phrases. So one phrase he used was, after having done something, whatever you're going to say in the exam, but I think it was j'aurais avait something, and then I did. So after having done, I did something. Phrases like this, which are complex and combine a bunch of complex different structures, and if you kind of spam them across your exam, you just keep on writing them, these complex phrases, you will get so many more marks than most people. You will get a lot closer to that grade 9 or performing better in your GCSE French writing exam, because this is what examiners look for. If you actually go and look at examiner reports, if you go and look at mark schemes, you will find that not only are they looking for accuracy, they're looking for complexity, creativity of your essay, and this is what you can do to get those marks. So the final thing I learnt was something I learned online. Online, I basically went onto YouTube and searched how to do better in GCSE French writing, and I was told to write like a native. Now, what does this mean? A native French speaker is going to use more phrases which you're unfamiliar with, and phrases which most people will not be using. So complex, or it doesn't even have to be complex, it just has to be something a native French speaker will say, which most students going into that exam hall are not going to use. If you try and add in the phrases a native French speaker is going to use, you can pick up more marks, because you seem more, you look like you have a more higher understanding of the French language, and that's what gets you marks. It's also creative. You get those creativity marks, the complex structure, all that stuff. You get all those marks by trying to write like a native French speaker. And for GCSE French writing, if you really do need a strong understanding of your structure, and from all topics in GCSE French, a strong understanding of vocab, of different words for different things, and that is because I have seen people who have gone into the exam hall and they get to a question on a topic they know nothing about, and then they end up writing roughly 3 sentences, and that's their whole answer. Do not be that person. Go into the exam hall and have a thorough understanding of vocabulary from each topic in GCSE French, because that's the worst thing you can do, and to not know what to write in the exam. Alternatively to that is writing a lot. Now, people who know the vocab will write a lot, but try and aim for quality over quantity. Instead of writing 200 words for an answer, try and compress it. Try not to just add words, add phrases just for the sake of making it longer, because making it longer isn't what's getting you marks. It's the quality of your writing. It's the interesting marks. It's the marks you get from making it convincing, interesting, and creative. Those are the marks you're aiming for. You're not getting any more marks by writing more. So don't just write about 10 different things in each paragraph just to make your answer longer. Instead, aim to learn the complex structures and apply them throughout. Make your quality of your essay higher than the quantity, and this is how you will do well in GCSE French writing. If you have not already, and if you're not convinced, most of the things I'm sharing with you come from things you can learn just by looking at examiner reports and mark schemes for GCSE French writing. These are powerful free documents which are available on the Edexcel website, which you can find, and you can go through them and find out where people go wrong, what the examiners are looking for, and how you can learn from others' mistakes, and not make those same mistakes, and know how to do well for your French writing exam. It's it's good to know the knowledge, to have the knowledge, but it's wiser to learn from the mistakes of others, and that is going to help you in this case to do well in your GCSE French writing exam. So implement all the things I've said, and hopefully you will do your best. If you do really implement these things, you will surely do your best for your GCSE French writing exam.